How many kids do you have? 2. 3. 4. 3 now. I have 5. Despite the barbarity, this heartless father's laugh over the murder of his children turns him into an inhumane clown, relishing every moment for an evil reason. Witnessing Henry's attitude drives the investigator toward one absolute goal: making sure he is held accountable for his viciousness toward his family. You've been a cop for 18 years. I've seen a lot of __, this is the worst. The brutality spanned out on November 20, 2010 when 27-year-old Brandi Peters and one of her 6-year-old twin daughters, Tama Peters, was shot to death at 908 Saddle Creek Run in Tallahassee, Florida. Her other twin daughter, Tanaya Peters, and 3-year-old Henry Segura, who was also Henry's biological son, were submerged in the bathtub. On the night of the murders, Bri's 32-year-old ex-boyfriend, Henry, was at her residence to spend time together. However, the morning after the murders, Henry contacted a friend and went to his place to play football and shoot a bow. Shortly after the murders, a neighbor requested the police for a welfare check at Bri's residence, where they finally made the gruesome discovery. Sometime after the murders, Henry left Florida and started living and working in Minnesota, where he was finally taken into custody about 10 months later. Finding DNA evidence indicating his incrimination, Henry was brought in for questioning. But little did the investigators know that a highly twisted case was right in front of them. Do you have any idea why you're here? Yeah. I found out, I'm guessing right. Brandi Peters. Emicham. Yeah. The girl who braids my hair braid my son's hair. Her daughter and her daughter is a godchild to a girl that live right next door to Brandi. And I'm guessing, Bri's no. The girl braiding my hair, her daughter is some girl that lives next door to Brandi, is her guard mom or something like that. So she said that Bri's mom and them came over to their house and told him this morning. When I called her about getting son's hair, she told me. Okay. What did she tell you? That Brandi and the kid someone killed him this morning. That's true. Second son you lost. What happened to your first son, if I may ask? He just didn't wake up one morning, 11 months old. They decided or he had breathing problems. He was born premature. Emicham. He was home doing fine. He was on the breathing machines and all that stuff. 1 in the morning, he just didn't wake up. Was that here in Tallahassee? Yes, sir. Sorry to hear that. And I'm sorry for what happened today. Do you have any idea who would want to hurt these people? Girl Paint, the one who does my hair, she was saying something about they thought my son was with some other guy and she said that the 2 girls, the kids, were killed. My son wasn't found in the house. And she said she think that he's with some guy who she's saying is his daddy. And something like that. Okay. Let me ask you this. I don't know for sure. Is Dwan your son? No. Javant. Is he your son? Yes, sir. Okay. How old is Javant? 3. Okay. Javant is in the house. He was in the house. He in the house. I mean, yeah, he was in the house. Found in the house. He's in the house. Yeah. And then I'm sorry to tell you, but he passed away. Yeah, she told me that they found the girls and the boy wasn't in the house. They think that he's with his dad or some of the guy she's claiming was his dad or something. So when the girl painting, who's doing my son's hair. Then when I went back over there, she said, no, they did find him in the house. So, I don't know what else she said over there. Do you know Pint's real name? Do you know how do I get a hold of her? Well, she's the one who she's my son, she's bring my son's hair. Her daughter is I don't know. Her daughter is the girl who knows Brandi, godmother, and she knows I don't know. I guess that Bry's mom must have went over there this morning and told him news. So, she called Pint and told her and you just happened to be there today and no, I called Pint to make an appointment, get my son's hair done and she told me on the phone, but she said that my son wasn't found there. He wasn't there. But when I got there, she said he was in the house. And Javant is your child? Yes. Yes, sir. Okay. It was some paternity issues, but legally he is my son. He have my name. Okay. Tell me about these paternity issues that you have going on. Well, like the girl Frank was saying, she think that he was with that other guy. Do you know the other guy's name? Caleb. That's all I know. Okay. That's all I know. That's or Brandon used to tell me that was my know that he was Javant was his son. Then she would come back and tell me that no he's not. So like a little mind game back and forth. So I put myself on child support. Then I went to get a paternity thing done. But they said I couldn't get one cause I had to pay $400 something like that to get a paternity test done. I just didn't have the money to do it. So they just move everything forward without me getting attorney's test. So I just kind of wouldn't worry about it. Okay. So are you currently paying child support or are you on it? I'm on child support. I haven't paid it. You haven't paid it? No. And any reason why? Just haven't had the money to pay. Okay. Because you're out of a job? No. Just bills backed up and just haven't had time. Haven't had the money to put towards it. Okay. I got another kid in Orlando I pay child support for too. I haven't paid that in a while. Just back up on it. Okay. How many kids do you have? See, 2, 3, 4, 3 now. I had 5, right? And different women. My 2 sons with my wife and I had Javant with her and I got a little girl in Orlando. Okay. The way Henry acts all cheerful while talking about his dead children makes his heartless nature seem painfully clear. When the police discovered Brandi and her children's bodies, Henry was nowhere to be found. As seen from the footage, there was blood all over the residence. Moreover, forensic evidence also proves that Brandi also fought hard for her life right before getting shot multiple times. Furthermore, upon closer inspection, the detectives found the phone cords torn away from the wall. This is a telltale sign that the killer didn't want anyone to reach out to Brandi. In the coming moments, the detective is about to ask something that would help sink Henry into his guilt further. Child support. Caught me on the phone bill one day. See my phone bill saying I was calling his number a lot. That happened. I don't know what else. So she confronts you with a phone bill and says, "Hey, who's this? What's this all about?" Talk on the phone 3 o'clock in the morning for an hour, 2 hours. This number got to be somebody important. So, did you ever make the phone call like call the number? Oh, yeah. They used to call each other the whole time. Oh, really? Malikika and Brady. That was like friends, but they're squabble. Okay. She just would tell, stop messing with me and yada yada yada. Okay. Whenever I left to go to Colorado, about 2 years ago, I think. No, it was about 3 years ago. It was right when Javant was 6 months when I got back. Yeah. It was somewhere around when it was 6 months. I think it was when I left. He was 6 months. I went to Colorado and that's when me and Brandi stopped talking. Why you guys stopped talking? She texted my wife and called her something fat something and I asked why she did that talking about because it was funny. I said I thought you did being respectful to my wife. I said I don't think you mess around. Was that the last time you had contact with her? Well, that's the last time. Yeah. Until I got back to I talked to her. __ I was at a house Wednesday. This past Wednesday. What's today? Saturday. I think I was at the house Wednesday cause it was right. She picked Vonti up. It was around 1:30-ish. I got there and I left. She had to go pick the twins up at 2:50. So I left. It was right before that. It was amazing. May I ask what you're doing there? What's going on? Just send. Okay. Stand around. Me and her don't have no relationship no more than like that. That's how much you have to pay a month in a child support. I may ask 800 something bucks to Brandi. The paperwork's the, what you call it. I guess the paperwork just everything just got granted to start the job support. And then when did the judge tell you you had to start paying? I didn't have to go to court. They just put it in. Right. So is it like they automatically take it out of your check or you actually have to write a check? I think I have to write you have to write a check. They don't take that much. Okay. But you falling into tough times so you can't make it. Yes. Okay. I start working, we had to work on the 6th of December. It's a short job but after that my boss is telling me that we got a bunch of work January, February, March pretty book. I failed to catch up on everything then but main thing was my mortgage straight was working on. Are you behind on your mortgage? So between paying all that child support all over the place behind your mortgage and you know money's pretty tight with you huh? Yeah, it was kind of tight. Not too tight, but it's time tight. I'm not used to having as much as normal because the economy is so messed up. The work is not nothing like it usually is. Your wife ever confront Brandi in person? No, they never met in person. They never seen each other. She seen her. Brandi seen her. My wife only thinks she know Brandi look like Brandi know what she look like. Okay. So, you describe Brandi as being spunky. Yeah. When you were there this past couple days ago with Javant, was any kind of confrontations? Any problems? No, she was cool. She's cool. Like, what was Brandi doing while you were playing with your son? Taking some food out to cook for later on afternoon. She sat on the sofa on that big sofa. Me and Javant was on the love seat. Okay. Just playing, flipping around. Did you try to work some of that with Brandi where you didn't have to go onto a child support? No, I can say I put myself on child support. So, she never filed the paperwork for it. You didn't? No, I did it myself. Why would you do that? 'Cause I have to pay child support. Let her know that it's over between me and you. You know, we ain't got to sleep together no more. Pay child for them. That's it. Okay. Before this past Wednesday, when was the last time you were at our house? That was it. How often would you visit? How often? Like on a 7-day. We got 7 days a week. How many days out of the week would you visit? Well, that was my first time going there in a while. I was working at Crystal River at one time. That was about a year ago. I used to go back every day 'cause her brother was staying with her. I think his name split her brother Brandi was Spy's brother was staying with her. I don't think he's staying with her now. Okay. But it was when he was staying with I used to go over there all the time. How long ago was that? It might have been a year. Okay. Probably about a year ago. So between today and let's go back a year from today. Today November the 19th. How often would you visit on a weekly basis? No. Count your fingers. 10 fingers or more than 10 fingers or less than. Guess maybe 15 times. Not as much as I should have. I say, but Brandi never said you got to pay up. You did it yourself. Well, she used to tell me no when you going to start paying. Okay. Okay. So she was expecting something out of you. Yeah, she was expecting. Like I told her, I said, you know, okay. Hard time. I'm going get straight when I start work. Okay. She was understanding what she know was she, like I said, she pretty cool down. When you were working, how may I ask how much you were paying her? I ain't paid her nothing in the last year for sure. Better. Like when Javant was younger, I used to buy him clothes and give her money like that. But then when I put myself on child support, I don't know when it was. You can probably look up to see when I put myself on child support, but I had paid no child support since then. Henry owed Brandi $20,000 in child support. However, as evident from his confessions, he definitely did not pay any of it. Forensic analysis showed that Brandi tried to get out of the house when she was attacked. Yet, she was immediately brought back inside. The motive of avoiding $20,000 child support seems enough of a reason to create such an altercation. And as if these hints weren't enough, Henry is about to reveal something that is far more disturbing than his fake smile. That injury right there, is that the reason why you couldn't pay for child support or something like that? No. Well, out of work for a while, but that's why I'm asking. Yeah. No, I was just being damn lazy pretty much. I could have been paying something, you know. I couldn't have paid the whole thing. I could have been paying something. Okay. Alright. But my question pretty much was, I guess because of injury, you couldn't pay for your mortgage and all this other stuff. Is that what's going on with all that? Yes, sir. So, where did that happen at? That was here in Tallahassee. I was in Mississippi. In Mississippi. Did they catch the guy? I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't heard anything from him. Okay. What? Wow. I stopped to ask for some directions and got shot in the stomach. Yeah. He pulled me out the truck. I was in that truck. Pulled me out the truck. Took all my clothes off and shot you in the stomach. Well, he asked for my keys for the truck. I said I ain't get any keys from the truck. I don't know where I'm at. I'm out of town. He got all my money was in my pockets cause my wallet I kept it in the center thing. So, I like sit on it. I gave him all my money. He had my clothes and he said, you going to give me the keys? How you got it? So I throw the keys off to the side, and when he looked at it I jumped at him and hit him, and when I jumped at him he ran I started cursing him out this and that, would I catch you this and that, and he turned he didn't even look, he just started shooting and running, and I jumped around the front bunk of my truck, I got hit, got caught, the doctor say I'm got to be God, got to be watching over me, it was a 45, oh my gosh, didn't mess anything up. Didn't like my he's expecting my intestines to be all tore up. So that's why they cut me from here to here. They found a bullet down here somewhere. They removed the bullet. Yes, sir. Do you know where in the Mississippi you were shot? Yep. You Long Beach. I'm assuming there's a Long Beach Police Department in Mississippi. How does your wife feel about you having all these children? If I may ask a personal question. Yeah, she don't like it, but you know, like I tell her, it's already here. Baby's here. It's not their fault. It's my fault I slept with another woman and got her pregnant, so you can't be mad at my kids. So, she accept them. She accepts her. Yeah. I mean, Christmas presents, all that stuff. Was she in the hospital when, the children were born? All that stuff. Or no? Okay. So, she don't sell them that much. Okay. Okay. Alright. Like I said, I mean, I don't know. You said she'd accept them. I mean, you know, she ain't accept that much. Okay. All right. But she realizes that, right? There are other children out there. I tell her, I used to say I can afford to pay for them. You know, I want to have more kids. I want some more girls. I work hard for a living. I want something to show for it. I want somebody to may I ask what does a welder make? Like it depends. It depends on what company you're working with. Right now I make $24 an hour. Okay. And we work 12 hours a day. But lately we've been working 10 hours a day. But normally we'll work 12 hours a day and everything after 8 be time and a half. And they pay you travel there, travel back and give you PIM $100 a day. This company here $100 a day. Last company I worked with was only $50 a day and 21 hour. It depends on who you work with. I work with one company making 28 hour, 100 a day. Average yearly, what would you make? 60, 55, 60 something like that. About this year I don't really know nothing. This year I work with a Mac. I remember who all I worked with. A work on site. I work with Zachary. 30 probably made about 40 grand, maybe better. Not a whole lot of money from mortgages, 5 kids and all that stuff. 4 kids. My wife made pretty decent. Tell me about Bry's lifestyle. I don't know. I ain't never really been in it lately. I don't know what all she was up to, what kind of pictures she was dealing with all the time. So yeah, she send me forwards them crazy text messages. MHM, man with a man have a, __, in the sink, stuff like that. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know what kind of people she's been dealing with lately. I really don't. I don't know who she's been talking to, so I don't know. You were over there on Wednesday. Did you share anything about like what's going on with her? Any problems she's having or anything like that? She ain't offering nothing. So, she didn't really talk to you about anything. Okay. She's asking me what else to get Devontae for Christmas, but I don't think she really said it towards me. Was she on the phone or anything while you were there? I think she was. By talking about the attack, Henry unknowingly makes another revelation. He fled to Mississippi sometime after the murders. This is where he got shot in the stomach during the altercation. Up until his arrest on September 3rd or 4th, 2021, he was hiding at this exact location, perhaps to avoid getting caught. During the discovery of the murders, Henry told one of the detectives that he left the scene to work on his marriage with his wife, Malikika, right after having a romantic encounter with Brandi. It took 3 days for the investigators to complete the autopsy because of the significant amount of DNA found on the crime scene. Seeing Henry deny everything, the detective is about to get a bit more direct in the hopes of getting a confession. You have a temper sometimes. You do have temper. Ever take it out on her before? And my wife get arguments every now and then but haven't recently. Haven't had one in a while. Okay. Ever hit her before? I didn't hit her. I grabbed her and I think I pushed her one time. And what set you off? I don't even remember what we was talking about. The police came out there. It was a big damn hurrah. Say that again. It was a big hurrah. Police come out. It really wasn't nothing. We just had a little altercation. How many times the cops been out to your house? Once. Just once. Been there in 4 years. Okay. What about with Brandi? How many times cops been out to your house? Forensic evidence links Angel Ayla Quiñones, a known drug trafficker, to Bry's bedroom, though his 2009 deportation raises questions. Vice Lord's gang member James Carlos Santos claims prison-ordered killings, pointing to cartel ties. Yet, his schizophrenia and history of false confessions make him unreliable. In addition, Henry's DNA on the bathtub grab bar points to his guilt, though his defense claims it's from an earlier visit. Besides, 5 sets of shoe prints contradict the lone killer narrative. Despite strong circumstantial evidence, Henry's precise role isn't definitive. All this brings us to one question. Was there actually more than one killer in this massacre? Henry's first trial took place in 2017 when the prosecutors claimed him to be the only perpetrator behind the quadruple homicides. However, there was a chance for a Mexican drug cartel to have committed these murders. All this inconclusiveness led to a hung jury, which further contributed to a mistrial. But on November 19, 2019, Henry was tried again. And following his retrial, he received 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole on December 3, 2019 in Tallahassee, Florida.